Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the pay to win account and we are looking at a brand new formation that is really gaining ground. So ultimately we're going to check out some of the heroes in this formation. First one is Grez. So essentially Grez is a hero that a lot of players don't use outside of the Twisted Realm. But again, with the team comp we're going to look at, very, very vital. Grez is a hero that doesn't require to be fully built for this team comp, but ultimately, as you start pushing to late game or end game, you'll be building out Grez to use him in the Twisted Realm, buffed with Mortis. A couple different heroes can really bring him a lot of strength to maximize his abilities overall. Second hero that we're looking at is Alna. Alna is a hero that I focused on building. If you guys just seen from the Celestial Guide, she is probably about the third on the list that I would recommend building. Her and Taylene kind of either or, but ultimately takes a significant investment, but she is very, very powerful, guys, especially with that 9 of 9 furniture. Really makes a big difference when it comes to the survivability of your other frontline tanks, in turn protecting the back line as well. So let's go ahead. We're going to take a look at this guide and see just how cool this really is. So here's the guide, guys, which it is the Alna Grez guide. Again, this is focusing on the two core main heroes, Grez and Alna. Overview: newer endgame team has risen through the release of Alna and the discovery of the immense power of Grez's 9 of 9 holds. So essentially with his 9 of 9, when you're summoning minions with Grez, the minions are going to come up with a shield, which is going to be a very, very strong protective barrier that they are going to bring up. So when they get this shield, it is very hard to kill them. And the enemy team will actually always focus on the minions. Even if they are on a target, they will turn around and they will focus on the minions to kill the minions out first before going back to Grez. In turn, each minion that dies gives Grez a 20% heal, which keeps him up very, very strong. Through making Grez damage immune as well as Alna's 3 of 9 furniture to heavily slow enemies, the team rides off the innate synergy of the two heroes have with one another. The rest of the team is usually aimed at supporting the damage output from Grez or slowing or CCing the enemies, which we'll look at in a minute. Team almost has no bad matchups in PvE. That's right, guys. There's not many teams that are really against it. However, a heavy backline burst may force the resource to be utilized within the team. Doesn't force them out of the high priority of Alna. This is why I had said when it came to the stargazing again, Alna is a very, very high priority. Looking at the investment, Alna would need the plus 39 of 9, which again is very, very strong. 3 of 9 furniture will pull her through some stages. Ultimately, you do want to build her 9 of 9 because of the abilities that she has. Grez would likely the plus 29 of 9, and similar to the Alna 3 of 9 may be acceptable on some stages. Plus 30 on Grez is an over investment. So guys, a lot of players have kind of went back and forth in this with the plus 20 Grez or versus the plus 30 Grez. The big thing that the plus 30 Grez does is it lowers the skeletal minions from 9 seconds to 7.5 seconds. But ultimately with that, the lowering or the differentiation between the two, you only get about 3 more minions per battle, so it's not very, very night and day when it comes to it. The big thing that I find is you do get a considerable amount of more stats when you're going to plus 20 to plus 30, and ultimately you want Grez at a plus 30 if you're pushing the Twisted Realm, because that will make a very, very big difference. Again, in this team comp specifically, the plus 30 is a little bit of an overinvestment, but ultimately when you get to the Twisted Realms, you'll be building Grez anyways, so it's awesome to be able to build him for now, building him for more things than just specifically the Twisted Realm. The rest of the support differs on progression, but usually each hero have their own standards for success. So looking at the pros and cons here, very powerful single and multi-battle formations, which is awesome. Cons: requires a high initial investment to succeed, not extremely flexible. Notes: this team is heavily risen among endgame players, which heroes like Isolde and Iran grow more consistent or actually fall off a little bit, resulting in the necessary of multiple carry formations. Low innate flexibility, but can be adjusted to win conditions using Grez as a source of energy drain, damage mitigation. One of the team's biggest appeal is the relevance against Flora. If Thorn is not available, within a few backline alternatives, the team is also very effective in PvP, You can also alter it into a Portal Party comp. So guys, this guide is brought to you by Artie and Alpatex. Absolutely amazing guides out there on Reddit. I'll put a link to the guide down below. But now I want to look at the most important thing of it, which are the teams. So looking here at the core, of course, it is Grez and Alna. They are the core heroes. But what I focus on is looking at the sub DPS and the crowd control, because when I think of stages that I'm on, we require 5 teams. So I always cross heroes out of this list that I use. So boom, we can automatically take Ainz out of here because he is substantial DPS, but he does work in a lot of other formations with Arthur. I would go ahead and cross him out, but that still leaves a very, very strong team. If you look in here of heroes we don't usually see in formations, we have Theowen, we have Thalia if you have her built, Isabella, Raku that we're building right now, and of course Damon. Most players have Damon built. So Damon with Grez and Alna, remember that is the 3-piece when it comes to the faction bonuses, because Alna is a Celestial. So right there we'll get the Graveborn faction out of there, especially if we put in a 4th with Theowen or we put in Isabella. Now looking at the CC, I do the exact same. So right here I don't use Nakaruru and I don't use Zephyriel. Tassie I'm actually not using in the formations. Pippa and Oden I'm not using in my formations. I don't have the Portal Party complete. Nara I do use, so I would drop her out. Right now I do use Pharrell for some formations. Aziz, yes. Mahira, yes. Gorvo, yes. So ultimately I do have enough heroes that I do not utilize on a regular basis to go ahead and build this team and build this team very successfully, which I do the exact same for utility. Nemitsu I usually don't use. Rain I do not use. Silas and Rowan, definitely use them. Taylene, yup. Thorin, situational. The twins I use, but Mortis I don't. So even out of here, just running through the numbers one more time, we have Damon, Raku, Isabella, Athalia, and Theowen. I don't use any of them. Looking in here, we have Nakaruru, Zephyriel, we have Tassie, we have Pippa, we have Oden, we have Khazard, which we're still building, Mizah. So those essentially I don't use. So again, they can sub into this formation. Then of course down here, we have the Nemitsu, the Rain, Thorin, if we do put him in that party. And then of course, we have Mortis. So we have a lot of heroes that we can bring. We've really been struggling with our 5th team. It seems like our first 4 teams, just like we've seen in the live stream, do very, very well, but struggling with that fifth team. So looking here at the optimal investment, I see Alna and Grez, definitely putting them together. We have Damon, Silas, and Tassie. Damon, Silas, and Tassie, all 3 of those I don't use in any other formation. So my optimal investment is the one I'm going to go with. Because again, out of my 25 heroes with my 5 teams, there are 3 that I actually don't use. My 5th team was the Graveborn team. Didn't really work that well. The only one I actually used out of this formation was Alna, but essentially in this formation, if it's going to work, I do like the multi-fight as well, just because these are 3 heroes short of Pharrell that you really don't see in formations. So again, I use Pharrell for a couple formations, usually running with Grez or running with Thorin, running with Graveborns. Alna in this formation works, as well as Oden and Mortis I don't use for any formations. So the multi-fight will work. The budget, I do use Rowan. I use Rowan in the God tier comp still, which works very, very well. So the budget is definitely, if you're running 1 team or 2 teams, it'll work really well. When you start getting into 3, you can definitely make it work. But when you go into 4 and 5, a lot of times you'll use the heroes elsewhere. And you also do have a lot more heroes built at that time. So guys, again, big shout out to Artie and Alpatex for these guides. I absolutely love the formation. I am actually going to pop over to my account and we're going to test it out right now and see exactly how well it works. All right, guys, so we're back on the pay to win account. We're going to check out the formation here. So I've been running this team. So essentially we're going to run with Alna and Grez. I got them all geared up. Tassie, Silas, and Damon. So out of this formation, these 4 heroes in the back, I was not using in any other formations. Only one that I used was Alna out of the formations. So let's see if we can get this team to work to really survive. I mean, this is the stage that we could not get through. We tried a couple times. I know it does require quite a bit of RNG. So it might actually take a couple tries to get this one down, but I think we can do it. And again, guys, I'm really excited to be using Grez because he's a hero that we built, we max out, and essentially he just sits on the sidelines. So we didn't have any use for Grez before this combination, never ran him with Alna, and it looks like we're going to get it down this time, guys. Just got to get Wukong down, so there you go. So proof that the Artie and the Alpatex guide does work. There it is, guys. So look at the damage Grez puts out. Boom, 2.2 or 292 million damage, 337 million damage there from Damon. So Grez is an absolute monster when it comes to the amount of damage that he puts out. That is very, very cool to see. So guys, that is the stage. We got that one done. This is the stage we could not beat when we were doing the live stream. So I'm going to stick with this formation. That way we can really make this work as we continue progression through here. So guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Very, very cool to see that this works with Grez because we've invested in him. We have Damon already invested in, as well as Tassie, Alna, all of these heroes that we were essentially not using. We have them built, which is very, very cool. So again, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.